Dina Does. I'm Dina, and I know a little bit about a lot, but I want to know more. So join me on this path to self-discovery. On this episode of Dina Does, we are talking relationships with my dear husband, Dave. A lot of you are very excited for this when I answer the Q&A. We both look like we've been through the mail, but we're actually just having a chill day, relaxing.
That's it, just relaxing, running around all day.
I finally have him sitting still, so we're going to answer your Instagram questions. And I'm going to wear my glasses from time to time because you all know that I went blind in 2020. So anyway, welcome, Dave.
Great to be on the show. I'm so excited. I had to wait like 3 months to get on your podcast.
It's a waiting list. It's a very,
I'm telling you, I feel like I didn't know anyone. I didn't know who to call.
I'll have my people get in touch with
my people. Huh?
Yeah,
that's what I felt like.
Okay, so we have a lot of questions, but we're gonna fill in, and we're gonna be very honest and everything. I'm always pretty honest with relationship stuff. So I'm gonna go in order of these questions. They're not in order of importance.
And I'll just say this to start. Dina's the boss. Yeah, like, I'm the boss of DCG, but she's the boss of everything else.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even think I'm the boss of DCG.
Yeah, it's all me. That's very good, honey. Trained you well. Okay. So does Dave like your spiritual decorating style?
I absolutely love it. In the beginning, I thought it was weird. In the way beginning, I'm bringing you back like 9 years ago. But it's grown on me a lot. I really enjoy it now. Now it's like when we look at things and we go shopping, maybe I'm pointing out to her things that go with what she loves. And, you learn to really love what your spouse loves. And I've really grown to not just love spirituality, but to really love the way you decorate a home with spirituality.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it helps that you didn't come into this relationship with a specific, some husbands and boyfriends and men have a specific style that they're like set on. You were kind of easygoing, and I don't think you ever did the designing in your past life. So you just, like you said,
I enjoy it. I mean, look at this. How can you not enjoy this? Come on. It's incredible.
Yeah, we kind of jive. Sometimes I have to rein you in. Like we just got a place in Florida, and I was like, we are not doing that. Like some things we
bought it, and it was a duplicate. It duplicated the Polar Suite at the Wynn Resort in Las Vegas.
We bought it furnished, but when it's all done, I'm going to show you guys how beautiful it is. But when we bought it, it was decorated very formal, not our style. Like you said, it looked like the Wynn. My daughter was sitting there and she was like, it's the Wynn. We're sitting in the Wynn. And she got it right. So Dave was like, let's keep it like this.
People pay a lot of money to stay at the Wynn, honey.
All right. How did you meet? And who initiated the first date?
Yeah, so, Dina definitely initiated speaking with me. Okay. So we met through something that's so important to both of us, pediatric cancer, do charitable work. We're both very philanthropic.
So Dave made a monster donations project, Ladybug, to get my attention, also to help the kids. But he knew the way to my heart.
Helping kids comes first always. But when you get, like the cherry on top that comes along with it, it was incredible. We met through pediatric cancer, and since then have grown and done so much philanthropic work together. And yes, I initiated the conversation. I initiated the relationship, and here we are 9 years later.
Yes. First kiss, the move in. It's all good, but I went along with it because it was the right thing in my heart. Okay, so how do you both handle disagreements? Do you hash it out or take a time out? See, this is a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, so that's wow, a lot of therapy to get to this point. So I am a Scorpio and Dina's a Pisces, as everyone knows. So we have different ways of handling, I think, our reactions and our anxiety. And in the very beginning of our relationship, up until like a year ago, I would react one way and Dean would react another way. And sometimes it would take longer to get back in the middle. And I was only joking when I said up to a year ago, but we worked really hard through our relationship and growing together to understand what the other partner needs. I think it was almost a podcast as well that we listened to by being able to ask the spouse, what do you need? And now I know that when Dina needs her space, Dina needs her space, back off. And, I have major abandonment issues for those that don't know. And sometimes when Dina needs her space to back off, it's a trigger for me. So yeah, I think I've learned that we need to have balance and meet in the middle. And that's my greatest advice I could give any couple. Try your hardest to always meet in the middle. Sometimes it's easier than other times, but mostly we manage to get there. Sometimes
the good thing about us is, well, I guess it's a good and bad thing. We've noticed that when we're fighting, it doesn't even wind up to be about what we disagreed on. It's our fighting style that really escalates the fight. And like you said, we've learned to realize each other's triggers. Like me, I'm like, I get anxiety, so I close down and I need some space, but that triggers his abandonment issues. So now we learned through a lot of therapy and help from experts and reading and listening to podcasts where I'll be like, honey, I need a little break. I'm getting overboiled, but I'll be back. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And I've proven to him time and time again, I do come back. So I'm not abandoning him. And that's what we just have to like say in the moment. So our disagreements are silly most of the time.
Typically very silly.
Right.
And, it's really, when you're mature, when your relationship matures and gets to the place where you have so much respect for each other, you don't have to fall on the sword so much, right? It's like, you're not battling for that one, so you got to pick and choose your battles, they say, right? And that's what I think you learn to do as a relationship grows. And you could agree to disagree, but then you have to move on.
Yeah. I just realized we didn't put the mic on, so I hope this is picking up what we're saying.
I'm not doing this twice.
I didn't set up.
Your people are really going to have to contact me.
Okay. This is why I need my assistant. She's in Israel. Anyway, yeah. So we definitely fight. For those who ask, like, do you fight? We do, but we wind up fighting about our fighting style. So we're getting so much better about that because we're recognizing it now. And in the end, like once we're both calm, we work things out so beautifully. We really do. We compromise. We don't need to be right. We just want to make it right for us. So I think
it's not about right or wrong. It's more about getting your point across, but not falling on the sword.
Just having them understand where you're coming from. That's all. How do you manage all the outside noise, and how do you both stay so positive and loving? Practice. There is a lot of outside noise, especially we have a lot going on in our lives. We've overcome a lot. And we've learned to this point, like, you have to put each other first. And I'm not saying like his emotions come before mine. I'm saying us as a couple need to come before any outside noise. And we've learned that because sometimes we put the noise ahead of us. But at the end of the day, who's in the bed at night? It's me and you. And all these other distractions from the outside, they're not going to be there to rock us to sleep.
There's one word. There's one word that I could say that describes that, and that's discipline. Having the discipline to not follow the distraction or not listen to that distraction, and to really understand where home is. And home is with your partner. Yes.
But like I said, we've come a long way. We used to really, the first 2 years of our relationship, we were ripping each other's heads off. We were also going through 2 major divorces, moving across the country, due to this day, a lot of travel, so we were going through a lot. I think that played a huge part. But it also is good because we knocked out all the shit in the beginning. And now we've come to a point where we can calmly discuss things most of the time. He's still a Scorpio. Scorpio and calm don't really go in the same sentence, but you're
not true.
I'm very proud of you, babe. Come a long way. And what do we always say? He's like, I need you. I'm like, I need you to come down to like a 5 because he's at a 10. He's like, I need you to come up to a 5.
I'll take a 3 most days. Come up to a 3.
So it's balance. I have to bring my energy up sometime to meet his, and he's got to bring his down to meet mine.
That's right.
Where's that dress from? Show me a pic of your wedding dress.
That's actually my favorite. Go ahead, show them.
It's on my Instagram.
Okay.
I pulled it out of my closet that morning. It was a Wednesday morning. Pulled the dress out of my closet. I didn't even wash my hair. This guy went and got a haircut, bought a new shirt.
Just for us.
I just wanted our wedding to represent what I wanted the marriage to represent. It was easy, no stress.
So we got married in one of the most beautiful places in the entire universe. And that was in our backyard in Malibu, overlooking the Pacific Ocean as the waves were blowing and the seals were beneath. speaking to us. And it was absolutely remarkable. Our dogs were our best man and woman. And
Maid of honor. Gracie was my maid
it
of
was,
honor.
it was incredible. It was, people would pay a fortune to have a wedding in that backyard. And we just woke up and threw clothes on and did it. So pretty remarkable.
No, it is. And we kept our marriage a secret for 2 years. And some people didn't think we were really married, but in LA or California, I think, but specifically LA, because there's so many celebrities, you can do a whole confidentiality where they won't know. So there's probably a lot more celebrities that are married that you don't know about because there's no trace of it, but I do have my marriage certificate. It's legit. I have a Scorpio ascendant. Does Dave display any of the darker traits? Revenge, etc. Yes, he does. Again, that's the good thing about all of the work that we've done is I'm not trying to change who he is. We're only trying to have us recognize some patterns that are indicative sometimes of our signs. It's not even trauma or anything. It's just how Scorpios are. They do have a super dark side. And when I sometimes call myself Dave's moral compass, because when something bad happens, he goes right to like, fuck him up or whatever. And sometimes I just have to make sure he has those few days to calm down because I've never met a person who is more fair than you.
Yeah. So it's not so much, I don't get angry. I get disappointed more than anything.
Yeah. But
and I think disappointment kind of destroys me the most, right? I think I give so much, ability for people to not just take advantage, but to grow, right? In all areas, friends, family, colleagues. And when I feel as if someone could do me wrong, it's not the anger that gets me here. It's the disappointment because I give so much. And it's not about giving anything monetary, or it's about giving my love, giving everything. And when someone could do wrong by you that you give so much to, it's the disappointment that creates my trigger.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to sit in that disappointment and let it, really just absorb throughout my body to where I could allow it to not just disappear because you want to feel it and experience it, but to be able to properly handle it maturely. Well,
it just has to cool down. It has to cool down. And I think that's for everybody. Like when I get upset, I just want to cut everybody off. I'm just like, I'm done. I go on a block binge. And then a few days later, I unblock and I cool down because, we all handle things differently. So it's not the initial reaction that really matters. Eventually, yes, we want to get through those. But once the temperature is cooled down, it's what you do with it. So we just are really cognizant now of taking that time to let the temperature.
It's no different than in business, right? So in my younger days of business, I would be more, I would react more than be proactive. And if a problem came across my desk, I wouldn't even think. I would just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but it wasn't the smart way to operate. Mm-hmm. Now, as I've matured as an individual, I take a more methodical approach and a more proactive and rational approach. Well, I'll take a time to disconnect from any situation, to consider that situation, to then properly react to the situation. So it all comes with maturity as well. And I think understanding where you are in life, and that takes work.
Yeah. We're doing good, honey. We're doing good. No questions. Just wanted to say you're a beautiful couple and you both seem so happy. Thank you. Is he spiritual like you? He is now.
If you only saw my desk.
Yeah. So it's funny because when Dave first started dating me and I was telling him all this stuff, he probably was yesing me to death because he wanted to get in my pants or whatever. But once things got serious and I was like, well, you're going to do this with me. And I have a funny story. We were living in Malibu. My mom was staying with us. And it was the first time that I wanted to really incorporate him in my rituals. And it was a big one, big moon and a big day to do it. And, it involved like burying orange peels at midnight. And you had to be naked. So I'm like, you're coming outside with me. We're doing this.
So here we are outside our house. When we closed the front door, we forgot it automatically locks. So we're outside naked with a big giant spoon and an orange peel, digging the orange peel into the dirt. And then we realized we can't get back in the house at midnight. And the only person in the house is Dina's mother sleeping.
So thank God we had robes. Like we didn't go outside naked. We were able to put our robes back on and we had to bang on the window and scare the poor thing to death. And she woke up and she's like, what are you doing out there? And I'm like, nothing. But he saw soon after how quickly it worked, what the intention that we were doing with that orange peel worked, and then he was a believer. And then now it's to the point where even some people in your company will be like, can you ask Dina if this is a good day to do this, or should we go into this contract this time? And
the universe does have its path and course for you. And when you're able to manifest and really create what you want, anything is possible. Nothing is impossible.
Good boy. Oh, okay. All right. Now people are asking me about compatibility with signs. You gotta, I can't answer those kind of questions, but keep on listening to Dina Does, because we have astrologers on at least once a month, and they'll answer some questions. So I'm going to stockpile the astrology questions and answer them soon. When did I decide Dave was the one?
Day 2, maybe day 1, halfway through.
I was very much in the space that I did not ever want to get married again. I was done with men, but I did want to meet someone to share experiences with and everything. And that's when I did the love spell specifically for, and I wrote down all the qualities. And those of you who bought a love spell from me know exactly what I'm talking about. And, I didn't write on the list that I wanted to marry him, but it kind of turned out, we got engaged early on in our relationship and realized it was too soon. And then it was something that was meant to tear us apart, that actually we looked at each other and we're like, we're together forever.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So although we were engaged, our decision to get married was quite quick. And it was just like, when you go through certain things together, it's, it's the one. Like, you're just supposed to overcome.
You know what they say, when you know, you know.
Yeah. I'm not telling any of you out there if there's like a toxic relationship, like you've been through a lot. No. I'm just saying that certain things you just know you're meant to overcome, and we knew it at that moment. So, oh, Dave, you're going to love this one.
Go ahead.
Is this you? Oh, no, it's Matt Piper.
I love Matt Piper.
Why is he such a handsome devil?
Don't look at me today. So I've been running around all day today. And Dina was like, can we do this podcast before you leave? I'm going on a trip for tomorrow morning. And how do I say no to her? But I'm like literally an absolute mess.
Oh, please, Dave, you just put a baseball cap on.
No, I'm a mess. Look at this. So it's not easy.
Not a question, just hoping you have many happy days together. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. How do you keep the spark alive after so many years?
I'll answer.
Lots of sex.
Yeah, I mean, that's one. 2 is really appreciating each other, right? The little things, not the big things, but the little things. It could be making a bath. It could be rubbing feet or rubbing her back, or, the things that you could do for each other that are least expected, but most important. And the little things. I think you focus more on the little things than the big things in anything in life, and you're going to create the most of it. Yeah. The other night we were away. We just went to Santa Barbara for a couple of days, and it was a full moon. And we came back, and I'm like, why is housekeeping at room at 10 o'clock? That's a late turn down. And he was like, oh, I wanted to be surprised they were making a salt bath for me because it was cold. We got back too early. Yeah. That's just because we don't drink alcohol. I know. But see what I mean? Like, he knows I take salt baths on, soul baths, for those of you who know, on a full moon to part of my ceremony. And he had them prepare one for me. Like, that's the little things that, you're all going to want your own Dave Canton, which you should. How do you help the man you love get help? So I'll answer that first, and I want you to answer from a man's perspective. I think the best thing that you can do is be the example for anyone that you want to get help. But sometimes that's not enough. I realize that. And it's just open, honest conversation, and also just sometimes drop a little hint, like, hey, I'm going to this seminar. You want to come? Or, hey, it's your birthday. I bought you a gift to the seminar. Or a therapist. We call seminar therapist here. Well, that's a great answer. But I think leading by example is great, right? So anyone who has a spouse that's trying to force their spouse into doing something typically doesn't work, because then they feel forced. But when someone sees the person they love doing something, and that it's okay to do it, and then they feel like, okay, if they could do it, I could do it, and I see it working, then I'm going to do it, right? And then it becomes a thing you could do together. Yeah. So, Dina and I have done a lot of work together, not just with therapists, but so much more. And, when I began in the beginning of this relationship to see all the work that you used to put in, Dina would spend hours on the phone with so many incredible authorities and that were therapy and spiritual leaders in the world. And I saw how much good they brought for her. I said, well, if she could do it, I could do it. And then I would start doing it. And then before you know it, we started doing it together. And it's kind of one of the greatest hobbies we have today.
Yeah.
There's nothing better you could do, sorry to interrupt you, than to put in the work individually, because that will, when you put in the work, and you taught me this, but when you put the work in for you, everyone rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like you said, if you see it working, like if I was doing something that was bad for me and it was going the other, like obviously, why would he want to do the same thing? Mm. So he was seeing me doing all of this stuff beyond therapy, magic and everything, and it's working. And even the little things I do for your desk, the next day after I made a thing, he'd get a big deal or close a deal he's been trying to close for a while. So again, lead by example.
That's right.
When people, and it's also a good test to see if you should stay in a relationship, because if you're working on yourself and they're refusing to work on themselves, that's a sign right there. It's a two-way street. But if you're doing the work and you're getting better, then you'll see it's time to let that fall away. They need to meet you at your level.
That's right.
Jealousy, how do you handle it and overcome it?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Close your eyes. Being a Scorpio and having abandonment issues are two key ingredients towards jealousy, right? My greatest fear in life is loss, right? So jealousy is everything in any possible way of losing, and losing her would be losing everything. So it's not easy. How do I get through it? A lot of work, internal work that I've been doing a lot of over the last few years. And that's not letting that movie play in your mind, and not thinking outside the realm of what really is realistic and making up these stories in your mind. It's really staying on course that you have a solid relationship. And regardless if it's jealousy of your spouse or something else in life, because jealousy can mean so many other things, don't let your ego get in the way of that. Really protect yourself and be grounded and put in the work to allow yourself to overcome it, because jealousy could destroy everything.
Good. And then also a big thing is to not take your past relationships into your present. So if you had a former spouse or partner that was, faithful, don't take it out on your current partner. Go by what they've shown you. And if they've shown you that they can be trustworthy, then go with that, because that could also ruin something, is living in the trauma of a past relationship. So, we're putting in the work again, talking about it. Favorite thing about each other?
Dina is the most empathetic woman I've ever met in my life. She could feel bad for the person that's doing the absolute worst thing. And I don't say that in a bad way. I just mean she always finds the good in anything, in any situation, in any human being. She knows how to turn a negative into a positive. That's why most of our animals are handicapped. And she just has so much love for those that might not ever receive love. And that's what makes her special. People tend to go towards things that are shiny and beautiful and perfect. Not that I'm saying I'm not perfect, right? But Dina tends to be more attracted to things in life that maybe need fixing, or maybe need more love. And maybe that was me in the beginning, right? I was very dealing with my emotional issues from abandonment, and maybe she felt that. But at the end of the day, Dina has always done a great job of showing love and compassion. And when I met her and how much love she gave with Project Ladybug towards pediatric cancer, she had my heart. There's nothing she wouldn't do for a child, especially a child in need. So she won my heart over right away.
Oh, I love you. Dave has the hugest heart too, and I could go on and on about that, but there's so many things I love about you. But one of the things I love the most is how just the word good comes to mind, because I come from a background of like my dad and the way I grew up. Like I was always afraid of the shoe dropping, like something happening, like getting like my dad going to jail for something or doing something, because he was always trying to finagle. I love that you are so good and fair, and every dollar you've ever made has been honest and good. And like, this guy doesn't even write off what he's supposed to write off for taxes. Like, that's how good he is. And he just, again, he could fly off the handle, but at the end of the day, he's going to do what's right and fair and just. He's just like a good man, you know?
Oh, I love you.
Yeah. But he's got a huge heart too. There's never a time that we're not walking past a homeless person. He doesn't go up and give him $100 bill, or he's like a legend. And when we go, you know, away tipping, like the valet guys can't do enough for him. And he's like, D, you know, they got to work. And he just has a stack of 20s and 50s. He just gives out like hotcakes to everybody there.
You know, people work hard in this world, and you got to really appreciate everyone.
Yes.
And my way of giving towards appreciation is financially helping them. If I can put a smile on somebody's face for one day, it made my week, maybe month, maybe year.
That's actually what Steph has said. They called him the legend because he goes. So he's always making sure he does the right thing. That's what I love about him most. Okay. What would you, okay, we're not answering that. This has nothing to do, don't send in questions that have nothing to do with the question at hand when I do Instagram, because we're not talking about housewife stuff here.
You know, my people told me this was only going to be 25 minutes. I think we're past that.
No, it's 45 minutes. Your people were wrong. It's at least 45
extra
minutes. No. Okay. Best advice for a strong marriage.
Wow. Never give up, right? I think too many people give up in this world so easily, right? They walk away, they quit. I hate quitters. You know, two things I hate about people. People that do wrong by you, okay, intentionally, maliciously, and people that quit. Quitters in this world suck, because like, why start something if you're going to quit, if you're going to give up? You know, one of the greatest lessons I think I give to all three of our kids is never quit. Never quit. I don't care if you finish last, never quit. Too many people give up in this world, and that's why divorce rate is so high. Most people give up for all the wrong reasons. They just quit. It's easier. People believe it's easier to quit than to finish and go through the hard shit to get there. So my advice to you is stop quitting.
Yeah.
Keep that relationship. Figure it out. Put in the work.
You also have to realize when you come to the time where there's no, like I said, if only one of people are doing the work in the marriage, or someone is abusive or whatever, there's a difference with that. But if you're dealing with like genuine love between each other, and there's issues that are arising that can be worked out, he's absolutely right. Like, don't quit on them, because I tend to like get overwhelmed and I just walk away from stuff. And thank God he did not let me quit. Like,
nobody should ever be abused. Nobody should ever deal with anything that could harm them. So quit if that's the case. So I take that back. No man or woman deserves to be abused.
Yes. Best pizza place in New York City. I don't know if that is it, but why don't you talk about your?
Yeah, we have a new pizza. We have a new pizza venture coming. It's called Sally Boys. It's on the corner of West Front Street and Broad Street in Red Bank, New Jersey, with my best friend Sal Basili, co-founder of Artichoke Pizza. It's like a futuristic pizzeria. It's going to be amazing. Electric ovens from Rome. It's going to be incredible. I don't know when this is airing, but we'll be open in July. So make sure you come to Red Bank, New Jersey, and check out Sally Boys Pizza.
There you go. Got your plug. I wonder if that was Sal.
Maybe that was Sal.
You two are an incredible couple. I love to watch your love. Thank you. Why you guys so perfect? That's cute. Thank you for a light you shine. Thank you. Do you always see eye to eye? We already said that. No, we don't. I mean, on most big matters, I think we do. But it's just some stupid stuff sometimes, you know.
Nobody always sees eye to eye. It's a good relationship with the boundaries that could meet in the middle.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we have the same morals and ethics and stuff like that. It's not like we disagree on crazy stuff, you know, and we compromise a lot. Like, I really don't love Florida. Even before I met him, I didn't love to vacation there, but Dave loves it there. I love California. You know, Dave really doesn't love California. Our compromises, we spend time in both places, you know, and that's what we do. When I go to Florida, I make the best of it and I do what I can. When he's here, he makes the best of it for me. And that's compromise. That's love.
That's what you do.
Both places don't suck. Let's be honest. People vacation to both these destinations.
That's right. You got it good.
Next travel goals. We are going to Paris next week.
But that's going to be before this airs. So we've already going to been in Paris.
We've because Lexi's going to air first.
Yeah, we've already been in Paris. So, you know, here's the deal. Life is about experiences. It's not about the car you drive. It's not about the jewelry you have or the clothes in your closet or the home you live in. It's about the experiences, right? When you go, you want to be able to or when you're a grandpa or grandma, you want to share those experiences. So Dina and I tend Dina and I tend to try to take a few bucket list trips a year. That's important for us. We just got back from
now that
South Africa, which is amazing.
We're going to do 2 bucket lists a year, one in March for my birthday, one in October for his birthday, and then little trips in between. So we went to South Africa for mine. And then where are we going for yours?
Israel. We're going to go to the Holy Land with some incredible friends. So we're super excited. But we're going to Paris, which we've already will be gotten back by the time this airs. And that's for our anniversary.
Yes. How do you prevent arguments from escalating? I think we talked about that. Dave has learned that I need a break. My nerve bandwidth has been a little bit damaged the last few years, so he knows that I need a break, and I know that I need to take short breaks and just like check in and see how he's feeling. But
my greatest advice is for everyone that listens to this: disconnect, even if it's for 5 minutes. Just go into your separate corners, let yourself calm down, cool down, think about the reason you're even arguing, and then re-engage. But definitely take some time, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, disconnect.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to play that back for him to listen to.
That's 9 years of learning.
Yeah. Does your family like Dave? My parents, my dad adored Dave, adored him so much and treated him like a son. And Dave treated him like a dad. My mother, when we go see my mom, she's like, Dina. And then she's like, Dave. She loves Dave so much. So my daughter adores him. My siblings haven't gotten the chance to really get to know you. A few of them have, a few that live here on the West Coast got to know him. They love him. So the ones who know him adore him. The ones who don't know him may have their own opinions, but they haven't met him.
Thank you.
Okay, how did he propose? I think we just need to tell the original story.
The Hampton story.
Okay, I'm going to tell it because it's just so funny. So everyone knows I love the
plane
Hamptons.
didn't have navigation.
This is when he first asked me to marry him, which was too soon in our relationship. But anyway, so there's a beach I love in Sag Harbor, Long Beach, and it's on the bay. It's my favorite place in the world. And we went there one day with Lexi and some friends.
It's my story to tell. So I made sure that we were going to the beach for sunset, right? Because she loved sunset. So I arranged everyone. We had a bunch of friends in town that were from Long Island and just a whole good group of circle of friends. And I knew this was going down. I was nervous as could be, but I said I needed to make it like some sort of wow factor. Everything I do is a wow factor, right? So I hire one of those planes like you see drone to the beach with a sign that says, "Will you marry me?" So I tell them exactly where I'm going to be. I set the whole thing up. We're on the beach and I'm like, where is this plane? And I'm like looking all around. It's 20 minutes gone by and I'm like, what's going on? So finally the plane went the other direction on the other side of the beach. Yeah. Where we
backwards.
Yeah, backwards. You couldn't even, it was like the sign was the other way. You couldn't even see it. So I'm like, all right, well, we got no plane saying, will you marry me? Says over there? I'm like, do you know what that sign says? As I get on my knee. I was like, you can't see the sign, but let me tell you. Or I pulled it up on my phone. I was like, this is what it's supposed to say.
But anyway, that's all good. So the second time he wrote, when it was the real engagement, he just wrote me a letter about how he felt. And I went in the bathroom to get washed and it was sitting there with the ring behind it.
That's right.
I love you.
Thank you, everyone. This was incredible. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to be on Dina Does. And let me say this. It's very hard for me to sit still for like 5 minutes, right? If you haven't watched me through this episode, I move around a lot. That's what I do. Well, when I'm not on this, I do all my phone calls walking. So I don't even sit at a desk. Like I pace, right? All day. It's just what I do. I've been doing that my entire life, but it's very hard for me to sit and just do nothing. Like even when I'm in the movies, like I got to get up a few times. But with Dina's episodes, it's given me so much. There's a episode that is really just, if everyone hasn't watched it, can I? Terry Cole, who is just a phenomenal individual, and it's one of the first episodes you did. And I'm sitting here, I'm in my apartment, I'm somewhere traveling, and I put it on in 54 minutes. I didn't move. It had me hooked because I learned so much in that episode. And I'm not giving you a plug because you're my wife. I mean it. Go back and listen to the Terry Cole episode because it'll blow you away. And then it got me hooked on all our episodes. So you're doing a great job. I'm
Thank
proud of
you.
you. I love you. And if you're not telling your spouse you're proud of them enough, that's not good. You should be proud of them. And if you're not proud, you're allowed to say that as well. But I'm proud of you, proud of what you're accomplished and what you're doing. It's an honor to be on this show. And I hope everyone gets something out of this.
Oh, and I hope everyone can hear us without the mic.
Until the next time.
We'll have you on again. I'll have my people reach out to your people. Dave.
Yeah, please. But 20 minutes.
All right.
That's it.
Bye-bye.